What is up, guys? Action Figure Addict 112 here, and we are going to be taking a look at the brand new Hasbro Fortnite Victory Series Midas Rex. Now, I don't know a single thing about Fortnite. I know it's a battle royale game. I know that it's a kind of cosmetics thing that you can buy cosmetics and stuff like that for the game. And there's all different kinds of skins and emotes and all that shit, but I'm not really interested in the battle royale games. I barely hop on Warzone, really. I just only hop on to play with my squad, and that's about it. But when it comes to Fortnite, the thing that interests me are the characters that they do, because the designs for their characters are just off the wall, man, in a good way. And that's what interests me with Overwatch, is that the character designs are just so fucking cool. And then when you look into the lore of Overwatch and you look into the lore of these characters, it's like, wow, they have actual character, you know what I mean? There's always games that, kind of look like Overwatch or kind of look like Fortnite, and they try to copy the formula and they end up failing because the characters don't have anything to go off of. They're either watered down or they're just paper thin, and you just don't give a shit. But it's different with Fortnite because they don't have a backstory, you know what I mean? So whenever you get figures of them, you kind of can fit them into wherever. And that's what I loved about Jazzwares when they started doing the Legendary series. At first I wasn't feeling it, but then they started doing designs that I was like, oh shit, I need to start getting these because these look cool and I can fit them into, so and so. And I was kind of pissed when I heard that Jazzwares lost the license to do the 6-inch figures and that Hasbro got the license, because you know how it is with Hasbro. When they get licenses, they tend to get lazy and cut corners. I mean, we've seen it with Falcon, with his Captain America gear. I mean, you had to buy a whole wave just to build his wings, and it's like, that's not how it should be. But yet they just showed a Vulture a couple days after, Deluxe Vulture, and he comes with wings. But I'm not getting into that. Strident did a whole video on that, so if you want to hear someone's thoughts on that, check out Strident's review. But with the Fortnite figures, I liked them because they were in that $15-$20 range. You got a couple of weapons, you got a couple of face plates, and some pretty cool accessories with some of them. And it was just one of those things that if you walked into the store and you saw it, you know what I mean, you kind of got excited because it was like, oh shit, this is something different. It stood out from everything else in the toy aisle. And with Hasbro getting it, I had really low expectations, as I should. They showed some render images and they looked pretty cool. This guy was one of the ones that I was interested in. Him, Lynx, Ripley was another one, and then they showed the girl with the Pokemon looking creature, and those were the only ones I was interested in. And I didn't care about the Meowscles because I already had the Jazzwares one, and I have Kit from Jazzwares too, so I don't really care about those. But then we started seeing some prototype images. Actually, no, we didn't. We just recently saw prototype images, and then these went up for pre-order on Amazon, and now Amazon is starting to ship them out. So it's crazy, we just saw, final pictures, and then they just started releasing them. And I got this dude in today. Wasn't expecting him today because him and Lynx were supposed to come like 2 weeks from now, and for some reason Amazon shipped him first instead of Lynx. So so I wasn't expecting him. I was actually Gonna do a review on either the Mezco Ascending Knight Batman or the DC Collectibles, DC Films BVS Superman, because the Mafex Gwen review is gonna get delayed because of the fact that Mafex could not give a single shit about their QC and let a QC slip through, and I happen to be the unfortunate contestant to receive said QC issue. So yeah, her review is going to get delayed until I can get that situated, so I apologize for everyone that's waiting for that review. But to make up for it, we're going to look at this guy. And you know, I didn't really get a chance to mess around with him because you know, I stopped by here real quick on my lunch break and then went back to work, and now I'm here in the Skull Asylum sitting here messing around with him, getting him in fighting poses, and oh my god, Hasbro has again left me contemplated with another one of their figures. And I had the same issue with the Plasma series. All the figures were solid, it was just one of them was missing an essential accessory, one was missing an accessory that almost all of them came with, and then the Build-A-Ghost was just, I mean, you saw what it was. So you could imagine my frustration when, you know, with that. So, you know, I had low expectations for this guy. I didn't really watch any reviews. I saw people were getting him in, and I was like, well, at some point I'm going to get him, and I'm going to be disappointed because I spent, you know, $22.99 on him, and he's just going to be terrible. And I ate my words, because he is actually a really solid figure. There's only one issue with this dude. Only one issue. Everything else is just perfect. And I love the fact that he looks like something from Destiny. I've never played any of the Destiny games. They just seemed like really stretched out, and my attention can only go so far in a game. You know what I mean? So, you know, with that, and then I think there was issues with EA and all that stuff, so I was like, nope, I'm gonna just stick with Titanfall 2 and call it a day. So but I do love the designs from Destiny for the characters and stuff like that. I think they're dope, and some of the bosses are just awesome too. So yeah, with that being said, let's take a look at Midas Rex. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Midas Rex's paint and sculpt. So in terms of the paint, I will give Hasbro some serious fucking props, because this paint is fucking gorgeous. Let me zoom in real quick here. There we go. I mean, this figure just looks fucking gorgeous. The kind of bronze gold is just really nicely done, and you have a mix of, it looks like gold, a little bit of silver, I think, and this kind of shade of black. It's kind of like a, well, it's not flat, it's more like a little bit of a lighter form of matte black, but it's just really nice. And you have that nice little bit of paint that's in the center here as well. It's just really nicely done. And then you have this beautiful kind of pearlescent white for the cod piece,
here, this piece of cloth. And then when you get down onto the feet, you see a lot more paint. It's just beautifully done. And then in terms of, oh, I'm sorry, and I didn't even, well, talk about that in a minute. But I'll pop that off, show you the back here. I mean, it's just so much detail, and then you can see there's more of that pearlescent gold, and there's little outlines of, or I'm sorry, pearlescent white, and then there's those little lines of gold throughout. Now in terms of the sculpt is on some other shit. I mean, it is just gorgeous. It's absolutely fucking gorgeous. You get a little bit of cybernetic in there, in terms of the design, with the kind of cybernetic kind of sculpting going on in the arms, with the cables to reach arm and some of the paneling and stuff like that on the arms. And then on the you can see some panel lining, or some panels sculpted on the torso, and as well as the wrist guards, and then also on the thigh armor too. And if you look on the inside of the thigh, you kind of have this mesh material sculpted there. And then his feet are just really nicely done too. It's like he's a cybernetic knight. This is what I mean by he's very Destiny-esque, because a lot of the designs you see in Destiny look very similar to this. Like the warlords and the hunters, and I'm sorry, the warlocks is what they're called, and the hunters, and some of the bosses you fight in the game, they all have this kind of design, and it's really beautifully done. And look at this, even the holsters have this sculpt on them. Like, what? Like, I don't know who they have working on these figures, but goddamn, you need to give them a raise, because this shit is just something else, man. Like, if you had told me Hasbro put this out, I wouldn't believe you, because this just doesn't look like a Hasbro figure. It's just insane. And then you even have the nylon, the padding essentially on the gloves. There we go. I'm sorry about that. So you can see kind of the padding on the knuckles. It's really nicely done. I mean, all of that detail, man. And there's just not a lick of paint that I can see that's like sloppily applied. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. So with that being said, and then we need to talk about this helmet. Now, I was gonna cover this in the accessories, but I'll cover it now. This helmet is gorgeous. You can tell it's supposed to be a skull, which I've already told you. You should already know how I feel about skulls. So this gets a pass for me with flying colors. I mean, this is gorgeous. And then you can see like that cybernetic look on the top of the helmet. It's like it's like some shit you would see in Ghost in the Shell, or one of those cybernetic animes or something. It's crazy. And then the way the eyes are sculpted in there, it's just awesome, man. Just dope. You can tell they sculpted some teeth on there too. So, and then the neck is cool too because it has that. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Not something from Ghost in the Shell. Alita Battle Angel is what this looks like. You'd see, as you can see, or something from like Love, Death, Robots. I mean, this is just, look at this. All the lining and stuff like that, the wiring. It's like, god damn, man. It's just dope. So, that's going to cover it for paint and sculpt. Now let's get into his accessories. Okay, so his accessories, he only comes with 3 accessories. The helmet that you see on there, the sword, or a sword, and then his back bling, which I kind of showed you briefly. So I'll show you the back bling first. This is what it looks like. Again, very beautifully done. The white is just gorgeous. You can see there's tears on the cape. And there's these really cool arrows and kind of sun designs through the back. It just looks very Destiny-esque. I really dig it. It's really cool. It looks like tag on there. So there's that. The sword. So the sword looks like. Now the box doesn't give you any names of what these are called, and I don't play the game, so these are just what I'm going off of. So this is a sword. It's kind of smaller compact sword, but it looks really cool. It's very regal. I like it. And it is made of a pliable material, so you don't gotta worry about this thing breaking on you. But I love it. See, it even has the whole wiring and these like bolts or something. Just cool, man. Here's the hilt has like a spear tip on it. It's just all really nicely painted too. Nothing looks sloppy. And then we get to the alternative head. I mean, look at that. Like, if this doesn't scream cyberpunk, I don't know what does. You can see the eye has a slash through it, has the whited out pupil. Hair looks beautifully sculpted. Man's got a nice fade going on. This is awesome. Kind of reminds me of Genji from Overwatch with the like metal plating on the face. Just, man, did such a good job. Just so nice. So that's pretty much his accessory. You only get 3 things. It seems like this is something that we're getting across the board, is just 3 accessories. From what I've seen with Link, she comes with a backpack, like a scythe, and then a P90. And then the deluxe figures come with, I think, 3 accessories too. Maybe some of them come with more. So I don't quite know. I have the girl with the Pokemon looking creature, and then I have what's her name? I have the little smaller 4-inch version of her. She looks like a steampunk chick. She went up for pre-order like a month or two ago, and I pre-ordered her, and she's coming in December, I think, or something like that. And she's an Amazon exclusive, so she will be like in my little universe. She'll kind of be the person that fixes like the heroes gear, you know what I mean? Like she'll make like the swords, and if Bakugo or Deku gets their gear fucked up in battle, she'll be the one to kind of fix it. She'll be like the one chick from My Hero Academia that fixes, or she's like the engineer of the school, and she makes all the gear and stuff like that, and techs out everyone's gear for their costumes. So yeah, but oh, I wanted to point this out because I was trying to tell Stratton about this earlier, because I took one picture of him and then I had to go back to work. But this here is not mentioned on the box at all. This is kind of a hidden feature. So you can see these holsters, you can see these pistols, right? They don't look like they come out. Well, the holsters actually open, and you can actually take the guns out of both sides. So, actual functioning holsters. I'm talking to you, McFarlane. You're fucking, what's it called? Giving us fucking figures with sculpted, or I think it might have been Mattel, but I think McFarlane's done it a couple times too, giving us Red Hoods with no guns. It's like, what the fuck? But yeah, you get 2 of these, and these are really cool. They have some sculpting on the what do you call it? The grip. So that's cool. And these are like little snub nose revolvers. I don't know if this is what he carries in the game, but I kind of wish he had like full 357s instead of these little snub nose revolvers, but they are pretty cool and he can hold them. I took a picture before of him holding it, but he does come with just trigger fingers that work as holding things hands too. So as you can see, look at that. It's a tight grip. Nothing's going anywhere, and he can hold it. He can actually hold the guns. So if you want him kind of gunslinging a little bit too, you can do that. You can kind of have him, you can have him, doing that. So, it's crazy that they give him this amount of articulation, and then with the Overwatch line, it's just like they did fuck all the figures, which pisses me off a little bit, because Overwatch is a huge video game franchise, and Hasbro has a license to it, and Fortnite is a huge video game franchise, and Hasbro also has a license to it, at least for the 6-inch figures. And they do something like this, which is just beautiful, and they just kind of shitted on the Overwatch line, which I don't appreciate because I'm a fan of Overwatch. So, like, why didn't this amount of love go into the Overwatch line? So maybe we'll see with Overwatch 2 when the game comes out. Fingers crossed they don't just hold that license and do nothing with it. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for his accessories. I wanted to point that out because I haven't really seen many reviews but I don't know if anyone's pointed that out yet, but it is a pretty cool, as I smack the microphone, but it is a pretty cool little kind of hidden feature. So with that being said, we'll get into his articulation. Okay, so his articulation, you can see the motherfucker's one up there. I promise you, I'm gonna get her review worked on as soon as I get that issue, and maybe I'll even review that Ascending Knight, because I really like that figure. But I'm trying to wrap up. We're trying to get a couple of reviews done before the end of the year, so that I can prepare for my decision making of some figures that I was excited about getting this year, that were some of my favorites and some that were just a little lackluster. But in terms of the articulation here, you have, of course, ball joint in the head, and you have a ball joint in the neck, so you have a double ball in that neck, so he can look up this much, he can look all the way down this much, he can look to the left, look to the right, he has a little bit of sass in his neck, his arms can go 360. Okay, I thought that was on a ball joint, these things here, but his arms can move that much. They can go all the way up this much, and maybe a little bit more, because this is a soft material. They can go all the way down to the sides. He has a butterfly joint. Not a very useful one, but it can go forward this much. It can go, well, actually it is more useful than the one I've seen on these, so it can go back that much. Elbow, bicep swivel there, double jointed elbows. Now I will say sometimes these little tubes are going to pop out, so I recommend just super gluing them in so they don't fall out. Like that. 360 in the wrist, and he has hinges in the hands. They're the roll of the dice hands, so those are perfect for swords and for his guns. He does have double ball in the torso, so he can crunch forward this much. He's going to be able to crunch all the way back that much. Side to side, all kinds of movement in that torso. Just excellent. Excellent. He can move his foot forward this much. He can move it back this much. He can do the splits just fine. I had him throwing roundhouse kicks earlier. So there's that. Got a thigh cut. There you go. Thigh swivel right there. Double jointed knees. And then this is my issue with the figure. When we get down to the feet. So he can move his foot back that much. He can move them forward this much. Are those on ratchets? Sound like they're on ratchets. Hear that? They like click. Interesting. And then he has a ankle rocker. My issue that I have with him are his feet. His feet suck. and maybe they're just on mine, but his feet suck. Like, I've had such a hard time standing him up that I've had him fall over so many times, like you saw before. Imagine me having him fall over so many times trying to do those fight scenes between him and my character. So, but I mean, he's standing just fine because he's going to behave on camera, but he does tend to fall over sometimes. So yeah, it's really annoying. It is. But with that being said, let me do some size comparisons real quick. Or I'm sorry, let me compare him to some other figures. Sorry, size comparison is someone else's thing. So let me compare him to some other figures that he may scale with in your collection. So let's do a Figma figure first. I'm gonna grab the Figma Tracer right here from Overwatch. She is the smallest character that they've done, so that's how those are gonna scale. So if you have any Figma figures that are also kind of sword wielders, anyone from the Fate series or Asuna or Kirito or any of those other characters, he should scale just fine with them. If you wanted like a regular person, here he is next to the Figma Emily, which I still need to review her. Let's see, a Revoltech figure. We'll go with one of my favorites, the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Harley. So that's how that's going to scale. With Mafex, I'm going to go with... Oh, you know what? I forgot I had her over here because I had to fix her sword. One of her katanas, this little round part here broke on me, and I don't even know how because I don't have like hammer hands or anything like that, but it managed to break. So, but anyway, that is the Figma Miyamoto Musashi. Grab a Figure Arts figure, the SH Figure Arts quote-unquote Street Fighter 5, but really it's Street Fighter 2 Chun-Li. Sorry, I have a lot of shit on here that I need to just like get rid of. I need to clear my review area. Here is a Kamen Rider figure in case you want to have him kind of be like a villain or something. Here he is next to the SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Gem level 10 Dangerous Zombie. So your Kamen Rider figure should scale, you know, pretty well. I guess it just depends on your which Kamen Riders you have, because I know some of them scale different from others. Here's a Mafex figure, my personal favorite. The Mafex Unbelievable Gwenpool with her Thanos plushie. Oh boy, I would have been so pissed if he knocked over that fucking Gwen. You see what I mean? He only behaves for so long. Alright, there we go. So that is how the Mafex figures are going to scale. And then, let's see. I got Bandai, I got Figma, or I got Figure Arts. You know, we'll do a Lightning Collection figure. So here is the Dark Buster, aka this dude, man. You see what I mean? He wants to fall over a lot. There's Enter next to him, and then here's a DC Collectibles figure, the DC Film Superman, which I plan on taking a look at before the end of the year, for sure, because I love this Superman figure. So yeah, my final thoughts on this guy. I'm very impressed with Hasbro, and I haven't gotten any of the female figures yet. Like I said, I'm waiting on links, so I don't know what the quality is going to be like with her. I'm hoping it's good because I have an idea of what I'm going to use her for. But Soups is like standing weird. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so my final thoughts on this guy. I really like him. If you're looking for him, Amazon has him for I think $22.99 is the price now on these, so you can get him. It'll say that he's shipping soon, but he may ship sooner than others. So yeah, with that being said, though, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to some more reviews, and Action Figure Addict 112 out.